Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Vance Williams out of Seattle here in the U.S. Welcome to my morning trading show. I see the pound starting to make a bit of a move coming into that supply area right there. We'll talk about that in a bit. I just want to remind you guys what I share on these live sessions is for your educational purposes only. And I just got back from my class reunion. I flew down to California and met with my classmates. That was so much fun. And a couple of them let me know that they've been watching my show and trying to figure out this Forex thing. Anyway, so a big shout out to my classmate Craig Josies if you're watching. It was really great to see you down there. And just give me a shout on Facebook if you want me to show you a few tricks about this. For those of you aspiring to be traders, trading comes down to a few simple things. You have to be able to see a buyer or seller advantage. You have to be able to read the strength of that advantage in order to manage your risk. And then you have to be able to execute well. It also helps a lot if you have a sense of what the market sentiment is. That's the tone of does the overall market think we're going to go up or down, and why? When that argument kind of crosses 50%, it tends to move in that direction. You can't make trading decisions on that alone, but if your setups on your charts are going the same direction as that tone, you're going to be a lot more confident about what you're doing. And I'll continue to talk about that as we go forward here. All right, so before we get started with the analysis and stuff, I just want to show you guys we have changed the home page at Forex Art of War. We're providing a lot of data now, high impact data, letting you know the fundamentals of what's happening the day before. Victor is posting some great analysis just prior to London Open, and he hit the nail right on the head here. If you want to read that later, our analysis is very short. You can read it in just a minute. And then of course the shows right now they're on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm going to be adding live training shows on all the different things and techniques that I use. Of course, we always give away all of our education for free. We don't place a premium value on that. We only charge for coaching you. Over here, you can subscribe to the different topics that we're covering on the feed, the shows, what have you, with these RSS feeds. Hope you guys enjoy that. And you can also see training sessions like this, Master the Fibonacci Tool. This is one of the most valuable classes you will ever take in Forex trading. You learn this one technique. It'll show you when the buyers and sellers have an advantage and how strong that advantage is. So do check that out and write to me if you have any questions. If you want to get on my mailing list, that's right up here, just a box on the right. You can get my book, 8 Things and the First Battle. And also, at least right now, you'll get a notice of when I'm doing a live show and kind of what I'm going to talk about. So take advantage of that. There's all kinds of other things, free offers right here up on the top. You can get software downloads. We're going to add some more stuff. I'm really a believer that I think people should be able to try it out and get the gist of it, and decide if it's something they really enjoy doing before you ever take any risk or put any money out of your pocket. And you can do that. You don't have to spend anything. Again, write to me if you're interested in trading. We don't make it really easy for people to sign up for training. I like to talk to each person personally before they do that. Just to let you know, it is very affordable. The price changes are coming in, 10 to 14 days. Finally, they are. So if you're interested in trading, there's never been a better time to do it than now in terms of value and cost. It's going to be very affordable. So jump on that now. Just Vance at forexartofwar.com if you have any interest. You can write me here. You can write me down here. I mean, I'm easy to find. So anyway, let's get rid of that. Take a look at price. I actually was off to a bit of a late start this morning. Well, I wouldn't say I was off to a late start. I was focusing on other things. I was taking a look around the world, see what's going on with the Scottish referendum, because it's been throwing some uncertainty into the pound, and not the kind of uncertainty that causes price not to move, but the kind of uncertainty that causes the price of the pound to lose some value. And so if we were to zoom out to the 4-hour just for a minute here, you'd see this thing has been just diving. Part of that's the result of the long-term buying trend disappearing, which was that happened as a result of kind of a failed optimism for the UK raising interest rates. Combine that with the US talking about raising interest rates. So in other words, that gap got tighter rather than bigger. And the reason why that's important is because, you know, if an economy and a currency is doing well, they're able to raise their interest rates, and that attracts a lot of capital and makes the currency stronger. So that optimism failed, and then that was followed by Scotland's referendum suggesting that they should separate from the UK, and this big drop right here was basically, well, this big drop that you see on the chart here was the result of that referendum getting 51% favor in terms of, yeah, let's break away. Over the weekend, literally in just a day or two, the support for that dropped from 51% to 21% or 20%, and so you saw a big bounce here. So right now we're a little bit there's a real uncertainty. They're a little bit bullish that, you know, this is not going to happen. So UK is going to probably stay together, and their economy, which overall is doing pretty good, might continue to drive this up. So let's take a look at the pound price currently and see where we're at. What we had when we came in Monday was this, you know, this range, and we had this 162.73 up here. You know, to have a real high probability advantage, the buyers would need to push above there. But a lot of times we see this bounce off the top, bounce, bounce, bounce. It's going to take the, you know, the confidence out of the buyers and drop down here. And of course, some of their positions have stop losses right in this area. You know, you would too if you were buying, and you know, you saw this stall, you would move some of your stops right into this area just to say, hey, I want it to go up, but if it doesn't, let's close out, take profits right here. And that's what happened. That's what this movement is. There's also some reasons to believe that this was driven by a little bit of information. Victor posted last night that we thought that this would drop. We had a number of reasons for that, and it did. Let's see, what was that drop? Let's take a quick look. Yeah, 62 pips. So nice little drop. Now, in terms of trading, if you're trading, you know, very conservative, trading our new waves and pullbacks, this would have been tough. And since this was moving kind of quick right here, I'm going to drop down to the 1 minute and show you what I saw. In rapid aggressive markets, you get these drops. This is a new wave right here. The drops and pulls back to almost 38.2 within fractions of a pip. Because, and this is a real important thing to know, because there's no central location, because everybody's, you know, making book for their own retail traders and what have you. No one really knows exactly what the price is, so we got to leave about 1 to 1.5 pips of room. You know, my chart might say price reached 38.2, and yours doesn't, and that's just forex trading. So we usually allow, if it comes within 2 pips, we just say, hey, it made it, because it probably did on some other feeds. So you get this next move here that goes all the way down to here, makes a very rapid move back to 38.2, makes a second push. And then we know from watching this pattern, it's probably exhausted, especially if it tries a couple of bumps here. I don't usually go down to the 1 minute chart. I only do that when price is moving rapidly, just to see what the behavior is. We're trading the overall money movement over 1 to 3 days, but we drop down to the 1 and the 5 minute, 5 minute 95% of the time, just to see what the behavior was. You know, did they pull back? Did they push again? So so that's the pound. As far as where it's at now, it's doing what we would expect it to do. When you get a drop below a real powerful level, it gets back in that area. You get a bunch of sell orders sitting in here. There's still more in here. In terms of where the pound is fundamentally right now, overall, probably it favors the top side. You know, a little bit bullish, but the uncertainty is probably going to leave it in a range today. Tomorrow we've got some important Fed data. Traders are all watching that. And in terms of high impact data, that's what you want to look for. What data is the world looking at? That's what creates the hyper volatility, because when they're all watching for it, they have different ideas about which way it's going to go, and there's increased speculation, and that's what creates the hyper volatility. Now I'm going to tell you on my website which ones I think they're paying attention to. So if you follow the story, follow those little stories we write, you'll pick up on it and you'll get the gist of it over time. You're not going to get it in one read, but if you follow it a little bit every day, you'll start to get the idea of what we're doing and why it's so accurate. So the pound right now, I mean, if you were looking to trade it right now, because there's some exhaustion on the bottom here, I'd want to see this drop through here, through 160, 157. Through the top, we want to see the moving averages turn over and get back up in here. It would be possible for those to turn over and for you to get into a trade before it hits the top. But keep in mind, that's going to be coming into, there's going to be a lot of seller orders sitting there. So the real conservative trade is going to be when it breaks above 62.73. All right, let's drop over to the euro. Same story as yesterday. A little bit of up movement. So you had a move up, chop, 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 a move up, chop, chop, chop. It's almost like a mirror image. So not much happening there right now. The market's going to be focused on the Fed tomorrow. So be sure to check out my high impact data tonight. I'll write something up about that. I might just create a new category that's just fundamentals. We'll see. I'll be definitely tuned into any analysis we write, and watch our thoughts, because we're basically scanning the world and giving you our conclusions in a few sentences. And I think in this fast-moving world, there's nothing more valuable than that. I'd love to have people in every area of my life scanning things for me, movies that I'd be interested in, whatever, to just kind of chunk that all down. That's lifestyle to me. So, part of this is, we're doing a lot of work chunking this all down for you. But as far as a trade right now, I mean, we'd want to be above 129.73 or below 29.14. Now, long term, the euro's negative. But you've got to trade your technicals. So we prefer the sells right now, but if one sets up to the top side, we'll definitely buy. Okay, so let's just take a quick look at the Australian dollar. This is a 30-minute chart as well, just kind of sideways right now. They had some pretty important data out yesterday. It didn't have a huge impact. But there's your key levels there, 90.45 on the top, 89.87 on the bottom. Kiwi definitely exhausted on the bottom, just in the process of deciding right now. So what I would do here is I'd put a key level right there, look for a move above here, or down on the bottom side, look for a move here, but also take into account that you've got some buy orders sitting right in this area. So the rule is basically, if you can get in and out of the trade before it reaches those buy orders, then you're good to go. As far as how you do all that, I mean, just keep tuning in if you're just wanting to do it for free, and I'll do my best to teach that all to you over time. I think that's about it for this morning. Thanks for coming. I hope you got just one idea. I think the real key here is you just have to join the conversation with me. I'm endeavoring to create great value and insight for those of you who are not a member of our training program, because I'm doing it for our members at the same time. Again, what we charge for on our site is coaching you. You can read 1,000 books on baseball, which I'm happy to give you all that information, to use an analogy, but for me to watch you and tell you to choke up on the bat and move your feet apart a little bit, that's what we charge for. So I really intend on just telling you everything that I see if you follow our posts. So if you have any interest in the training program, just write to me, Vance@forexartofwar.com. I love chatting with people. Spend about 30, 40 minutes chatting, no obligation to buy. I'm always interested in getting to know people out there. To our members, I'll see you guys coming up in our live trading room at Wall Street Open in about 40 minutes. To everyone else, cheers.